on their back. The teleport now coming in. Xiaohu back into the fight from base. Fully beefed up. They are going right onto Ruler. He gets measured. He gets downed. And now it's RNG looking at the Nexus turrets. 32 minutes.
Hello guys, my name is Mona. I'm an aspiring league coach and analyst. Today, I'm here to do a brief review on how Royal Never Give Up defeated Samsung on the second day of the 2017 World Championships. In this video, I'm going to be looking at the two drafts, how team focused their compositions to gain leads, and how RNG eventually managed to take the first seed in Group B. To start, we'll look at the bans. RNG banned out Xayah, Cho'Gath, and Twitch. With Kalista banned on red side and RNG using two bans on hyperscaling ADs, it puts Samsung in a position where they need to ban a priority pick from RNG or take away something they don't want to play around. They chose Kog'Maw, which gives RNG the chance to first pick Tristana, an AD that RNG have played around to gain priority towards their bot side. Samsung picked Sejuani, Lulu, and Varus, revealing that they're sticking with the hyperscaling meta that has worked very well in this patch, as well as having a defensive bot side to respond to the early game pressure. RNG respond with Janna, the same bot lane they ran against Samsung last time, and Flex Galio, which let me play successfully last game as well. Since no jungler was picked for RNG, Samsung focused MLXG's champion pool and banned out his Nidalee and his Rek'Sai. And Samsung banned out mid laners Crown has thrived on this tournament. RNG finished their draft by sending Galio mid against Syndra and picking up Lee Sin and Rumble. MLXG is one of the most mechanically insane competitive Lee Sin players in the world. By giving him a winning lane matchup with priority laners like Rumble and Tristana, he'll be able to control the early game tempo for RNG to extend their gold lead and take mid-game fights around objectives to win. Samsung finished their draft with Camille, who will get shoved in by Rumble early on in the matchup, but will have tremendous 1v1 potential after a few items are completed. Samsung have a ton of engage and catch options for their teamfights, but the comp relies on Kuve and Crown controlling the side waves and then collapsing on RNG when they push up mid. Going into the game now, we see MLXG taking a very aggressive jungle route, starting his red buff and then going straight for Samsung's red. Last game we saw MLXG going red to blue to Samsung's red, and it worked because of RNG's early lane priority and the jungle matchup favoring Jarvan at level 2. Here we see the same thing, except Ambition was more prepared for an early invade this time and started his blue straight to his red. MLXG pressures Ambition away and takes the Raptors and Krugs, then clears his top side. Ambition responds by invading RNG's Raptors, but did so without mid lane priority. Xiaohu appears to be going for a deeper ward and roams down river, but once again we see that RNG is ready to play around mid priority and commit very hard to land first blood onto Uzi, but Ambition escapes. RNG then continued to use mid and bot side priority by pressuring Ambition's second blue buff and successfully taking it away from Crown. At 8 minutes, RNG forced a dive bot to attempt to snowball bot lane using their level advantage they have and to take advantage of their early skirmishing power spike. MLXG and Xiaohu make their way bot to dive Varus and Lulu, knowing they can pull this off due to Xiaohu spotting Sejuani heading for red buff, taking away the possibility of a counter gank bot. They attempt to pull the trigger, but a ward spots out Xiaohu roaming down, and Samsung adjusts accordingly. RNG then forced the same dive again, really wanting to start snowballing, but after a few minion waves have crashed, Ruler and Core JJ are already level 6. Xiaohu disappears from mid and then goes straight bot. Ambition notices RNG's blue side was not cleared and heads straight to bot. A forceful engage from RNG lands them a kill and pressure bot lane, but they give up first blood to Ruler while losing MLXG and Ming. RNG are also sacrificing pressure onto Camille, who is scaling nicely. RNG eventually gained the tempo they were looking for when they pick off Ambition warding. Note that this comp RNG are playing synergizes well with their fast tempo playstyle, and their win conditions rely on establishing vision control around mid and collapsing towards the mid lane. This gives RNG first turret and Cloud Drake. RNG then take Rift Herald, and after gaining control to their priority side of the map, they grab the Rift Herald. Although they disengage successfully, they have to use some major cooldowns, but manage to do so cleanly and bait other spells out of Samsung, who responded late to this objective. RNG then dropped the Herald topside to gain more control over their side lanes, but failed to respond to the elephant in the rift that is Camille. With the help from Syndra, they managed to pick off Rumble, something avoidable if RNG sent Galio bot to help Rumble push or survive the 2v2. RNG catch Samsung resetting and grab Mountain, while Samsung gained vision control over RNG's blue side. RNG later catch Ruler out of position and managed to pressure him out of lane to get mid turret. They do so, but MLXG is caught backing on a ward and forfeits a kill to Syndra. Although Samsung are down a tower, Samsung are prepared to play to their win conditions, which are to control side waves with Camille pressuring, then collapse onto mid and leave RNG no room to gain advantages. Samsung gained vision control of the Baron Pit area, but not before RNG laid down some cheeky deep vision around mid. Although RNG's wards doesn't show where Samsung is, they tell RNG where they are not, which is near Baron. Xiaohu and Let Me push their side waves in and reset to base. Uzi intentionally begins pushing midwave a little further than normal, making it look like he was playing greedy, and Samsung begin approaching him. Both RNG TPs come out and it immediately looks bad for RNG, especially since Cuvée has successfully landed a flank onto Ming. Ambition aims Glacial Prison right at Uzi, but he flashes over the wall and behind Rumble, who's just about to complete his TP. Meanwhile, Xiaohu ults Janna so she can buy time to peel for Camille off, and MLXG kicks Camille away from his teammates and Samsung. While Janna was being saved, Uzi's quick decision saved his life and also won the team fight. Right after he flashes, he knocks back Varus, which causes Ruler to whiff his chains of corruption and buy time for Let Me to lay down a nice equalizer. Now that Samsung have used their major cooldowns, Xiaohu can re-engage and pick off Ruler and Cuvée. A fight that should have been in Samsung's favor was actually anticipated by RNG, and they completely outplayed Samsung to swing the tempo back into their control. Right after the fight is over, Samsung reset by getting Infernal Dragon while RNG rushed Baron. RNG immediately gained vision control and started Baron before Samsung were set up to fight. The Baron is secured by Uzi due to an early smite by Ambition. This was incredibly risky for RNG, but they had the element of surprise when starting the Baron, so if Samsung tried to steal, RNG could take a good teamfight because Samsung would be out of position. Samsung began collapsing on them, but RNG disengaged the Camille with Tristana ult and wait for Sejuani's Glacial Prison to expire before engaging onto Ruler, who was overextended. Now, notice the disconnect where Camille and Sejuani are when Ruler steps up and try to hit RNG's backline. This ends up giving RNG the mid inhibitor and bot inner turret, and then RNG then go and set up top lane. RNG siege top 5v4, positioning Galio up front to melt the turret. Xiaohu and Let Me combine Equalizer with a massive taunt flash to knock down most of Samsung. And then Xiaohu TP's back with the Super Baron minion wave still pushing in, and then finally MLXG ends the game in style with a sexy Lee combo, and that's all she wrote. Overall, RNG were able to come out on top due to their ability to push their priority lane advantages to put Samsung in a position where collapsing onto mid was their most predictable win condition, and RNG played around it majestically. RNG had a great group stage run due to their team's understanding of their strengths of their compositions and being able to force plays around the map. Although they're able to play this style very successfully, I do wonder if they'll run into problems when their drafts don't go so well. Well, that's it for my review. Thank you for watching. If you watched this far, I would appreciate your feedback since this type of content is what helps me become a better analyst, and giving this video a like or retweet will also help me tremendously. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.